With the world so divided, what should we as Freemasons do? Which of our Masonic lessons teaches us how to navigate through this? Welcome to the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry channel. I'm Maynard Edwards, 33rd degree. As I record this, it has been a rough few weeks here in the United States. And if we're honest, it's been a pretty tough time all over the world. It seems like there's just so much division. You can't turn on the news or, scroll through social media without being overwhelmed by negativity and people just attacking each other. We're just so divided. And for a fraternity that seeks to find harmony and build brotherhood between men, this kind of division it's pretty hard to stomach. What's worse is when we see brother Master Masons online, or even worse, in person, behaving in a way that many of us would consider, maybe un-Masonic. So how do we respond to this division? How do we as Masons set a good example for our brothers, our children, and our community when it seems like everyone around us is just determined to fight? I believe that our Masonic symbols really hold the answer. In Freemasonry, of course, we use these symbols to remind us of our Masonic lessons and obligations, and there's one symbol that, in times like this, in times of difficulty and division, one symbol that I think is really the most important. The compasses. Often we simply lump the compasses in with the square and of course the Holy Bible, but let's break this apart for just a second. First, the proper term for this is in fact compasses, plural. A compass, singular, is a navigational tool used to determine true north. Technically, this is a pair of drawing compasses. This is one we use in lodges, but it's supposed to represent this, which is a technical instrument used to draw arcs or circles, and most of us use these in high school geometry. Over time in those high school geometry classes, we shortened this from compasses to just a compass, but in Masonic symbolism, it's still properly referred to as the compasses, plural. The compasses are arguably the Masonic symbol and lesson we most need to keep in mind during these challenging times because they teach us as Masons to keep our passions in due bounds. What this means is we can't let our emotions get the better of us. Whether we are dealing with an argument, mourning some kind of loss, or facing some kind of hardship, keeping our passions and desires in due bounds keeps us from taking action based solely on an emotional state. And this is not just about negative emotions. Sure, we want to keep ourselves in check when we start to get angry, but what if we get excited about a birthday or a holiday and we overspend, or we get involved in a hobby and it kind of takes over our lives and we forget about our other obligations? All of that is part of keeping our passions in due bounds. And really, take a second and think about the last time you did something that you probably shouldn't have. It's pretty likely that you were in some kind of emotional state, whether good or bad, and letting your passions or desires get out of bounds and you got carried away. One way I like to think about the compasses is how they actually work. In order for the compasses to draw a proper circle, they have to stay connected to the center point. Now see, I came off center, not a great circle. But if I stay in the center, nice circle. Sort of. Don't go by my artwork. You get the point. In terms of our lives as Masons, we need to stay connected to our center, our faith, our families, and of course, for us Masons, our fraternity. So how do we do this practically and apply the lesson of the compasses during these times of division, even between lodge brothers? First, don't react. When you feel that heat climbing out of your collar because something's starting to get to you, just take a breath and let it go. Figure out if there's actually anything you need to say or do. Like if a keyboard warrior is launching some kind of attack on social media, does it really matter? Probably not. Second, if you do need to do something, make sure you think, act, and speak with your passions in due bounds. Be calm, thoughtful, and realize that the other person involved may not be acting in that same calm manner. You are a Mason, and it's the only way you should behave. Yelling, screaming, and certainly raising hands has never and will never solve anything or change anyone's mind. Finally, remember, when we're dealing with brothers, we are charged with whispering good counsel with them. If you need to say something to a brother, maybe he's stepped out of due bounds a little bit, that doesn't mean you attack him in all caps in an online comment thread. Instead, you pull that guy aside or you contact him privately, and in a quiet and respectful manner, you tell him, hey man, I think you're letting your compasses get a little too far. Our goal is to find harmony with our brothers and then the world around us. You don't start conversations from a point of disagreement. Find out what you agree on and then slowly and respectfully sort through your differences, always keeping these compasses in mind and always remembering that you are a Master Mason. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out our Lost Media archive for $2 a month, and you can help us preserve Masonic media. And make sure you drop a comment below. I would love to know what you think about the lesson of these compasses. I'm Maynard Edwards. Thanks for watching.